to do that. Developed a couple of other additional products, a network analysis product. And then we had an interesting experience where, because we had the consulting business as well as this product initiative going on, I was going both ways. I was working, developing these products, and by this time we had a development team. We had enough capital and resources to do that. We also had a consulting operation. I was going back and forth, and I had a very interesting meeting with one of our good customers on the consulting business who had spent a lot of money building a new datacom network and was experiencing some downtime, and they were getting a lot of heat from their upper level management on why the network was so unreliable. And it was kind of an epiphany for me, because they had all this information in the fault notification system, in some of the network analyzers and the network management systems that we had helped them put in place, but they had no way of reporting on it. So what I did was I decided to take it upon myself, and I prototyped it. I was not a heads-down developer at the time, but I was capable enough of building a prototype of a data warehouse to aggregate all the information that they had and then produce reports on the availability of the network, any outages they experienced, severity of the problems, things like that. And it was a big hit. This customer loved it, but we also showed it to a lot of other people, and our partner with the network management system loved it too, and we had some momentum there. We were able to propel this thing. So it was a service level monitor tool, which ultimately became a very important category of product, but we happened to find it early because we had this consulting experience. Up until this point, the consulting company had paid all the bills. All of our software and proprietary product development was getting leverage or getting the bills paid by the consulting business that we had built off of all this. At this point, we launched a separate company called Geneva Software. We spent time now building our own position in the marketplace. We would amplify what we had coming in from our partners by bundling. We did a bundling deal with Bay Networks. We were very closely working with Cisco, a lot of very prestigious, important companies. Storage Dimensions included our product in their offering. We also did, we submitted our product for review. We won a number of awards. So we started to build it up, and it was really fun and exciting. Went to trade shows, met the analysts. And one of the things I mentioned here is that this was all important because it allowed us to increase our price and to start to stand alone as an entity, not just referred by the partner company that we were working with. The Drive the Race car. This was probably now about 1994, 95. So it was a number of years, maybe 6 years or so, of having gone from repping to this stage. And the consulting business was doing well. Our product business was doing well. And my partner and I used to kid about the fact that we could either have a couple of Ferraris in the parking lot, or we could keep investing the profits that we were making in this development effort. And so when I say drive the race car, what I mean by this is now we had a race car, because what we had built was an engine that we could pour money in the top, and n times that money would pour out the bottom. We would basically take, when I mean money, is instead of development, it was public relations money that we would spend, advertising money, and that money would ultimately influence the market to come to us, call us, go to our website, and want to buy our product. And so we had a very closed loop process. Everything that we did was measured. Every initiative that we took, every ad we ran was tracked. And so we were able to tie everything back to sales. So it was kind of like tuning an engine. We really had a good time with it. Another interesting point is, how much, am I doing good on time? Yeah. Another very, I think is a fascinating thing from managing the process and driving the race car is that we started to have a pretty good thing for salespeople, meaning that as we were pouring money in the top and generating this awareness and getting leads, customers were calling us and wanting to buy the product. We had salespeople that were following up and trying to close bigger and bigger deals. And one of the things that happens in a growth opportunity like this is everybody has a comfort level. And what I mean by that is that you're a salesperson and you made $100,000 last year. you build up a lifestyle that you expect to make that. Maybe you want to make $150,000 this year. And you get into an opportunity like this, and this is what we had, is that someone in that situation would already have made $150,000 by June. So we started January. They had already realized $150,000 worth of commissions by June. So what do you think happens? They start to get comfortable. They look at it and they go, I've already made what I was expecting to make, and I'm having a great time. It's summer. I want to relax, take life a little easy. I'll just keep doing this. I'll be making $300,000 by the end of the year. It's fantastic. We need more. We want them, because they'll back off. They won't make $300,000. They'll look at it and slow down, work less. They'll start to, they may hit the year at 175 or 200,000. So what we put in place, which is very common in growth opportunities like this, is an accelerated compensation plan. So what that means is that the first 150 might have come by June, and that was based on a 7% commission schedule. Now the next 150 is they're getting paid, instead of a 7% commission, they're getting paid a 10% commission. So that means they have to work 40% less to make the same amount of money. So it's like you're working to try to influence them, incentivize them to work harder, even though they're already getting comfortable. We fully integrated the business. We owned our own technology at this point. We had the consulting business running, but on the product side, the Geneva software side, we had a whole process going on, integrating everything. We had separated finance and accounting. At this time, this was probably, about, well, let's go back. I just give you an example of some sales. We went from about $250,000 a year in sales to $1 million in sales to $3 million in sales to $7 million in sequential years. And, it's a nice growth rate, but one of the things that you'll notice is it's not exponential. And, because we had funded this ourselves, we had bootstrapped it, what we were looking at not just growth, but also costs. And, if you're taking other people's money, people would look at this growth rate and go, well, just imagine if we hired 20 more salespeople and we spent another $3 million on marketing expenses. What could we do? We didn't look at it that way. We looked at it as, here we are. We got this engine that we're feeding. We're reinvesting our profits. It's growing. And you know what? It's growing faster than our costs are growing. And so the net result for us at the time was that it was basically a cash machine. We pour the money in and we get a lot more money out. So where did that get us? It got me to the point now where we had generated and created this nice little business. And unfortunately, though, the ego's got in the way. And in this growth market of LAN and WAN and Datacom and companies like Cisco and Nortel and Microsoft, and they were just booming. And companies like Lucent, as an example at the time, were just going out and just acquiring companies all over the place. So we had a peer group of companies that we had dealt with, that we were friendly with. And what I observed was they were getting bought. And instead of having a cash machine, they were basically sweeping in giant windfalls as a result of selling their entire business. So it started to affect me. I thought to myself, why not me? The analogy I make is kind of like, trying out for the varsity team or playing, on a court somewhere and getting scouted. Someone else gets tapped on the shoulder and they get brought up to, play on the varsity team, and I'm in the stands watching, going, hey, I can shoot that shot just as good as they can. And it was really tough. It was really hard to live through that, even though we had built a great business. It was very profitable. We were controlling our own destiny. So, one of the things also that we did is, I talked about bootstrapping, and, at this time we had built enough retained profit and earnings that, we could pretty much do what we wanted to do. But we decided to go out and talk to some venture capitalists just to see, maybe there was an opportunity to invest and to grow this thing bigger than, what we had built up to now. And it was rejection. Even though we were, at the time, I don't know, we were doing maybe $5 million a year in sales. We were generating a lot of profit. They looked at us as, you're a lifestyle business. You're not a venture-backed business. And it was just crazy for me. I was, beside myself because, I just thought, we had built something really good. Why doesn't anyone see it as good as we do? So something happened, though. One of our customers of our products and our services was a local Chicago company that was a big software company, was big into the area that we were into, but they weren't big into the network. They were big into systems management, database management, but they really didn't have any products in network management. And we were selling our products and services to their internal IT people, and those people introduced us to some of their strategic acquisition people, and we thought to ourselves, well, this would be a good opportunity. We'll go in. You know, it wasn't like selling the company. Believe me, we thought we had a good thing, and we thought, it'd be nice to be approached, but we weren't about to go out and try to sell it. But what happened was we met with them, and they quickly got to the point where they expressed interest in acquiring us. And it was a big ego boost for me personally to know that finally somebody wanted to do something with this.